franchise record is already been taking it all in right now?
I don't think it's remotely possible to take that in. You know what I mean? I know what I feel right now, but to really process it, man, it's hard. When we came here, the goal was obviously to build a program and step by step, do some things. And it started with the young guys that we had that first year, the bubble last year, and then the individual stuff that we've seen guys achieve along the way. And then tonight is unbelievably special for so many people, and not just the organization, but the people in the city that have basically birthed the Suns. Everywhere I go, people talk about the Suns are their baby, and to have us playing this way, achieving this goal tonight is huge for the Valley. And it's hard to put it into words, but we're all pretty grateful. And we talk about celebrating everything. And there's just so many people that have a huge part in this, from the players who are the main cogs in it all, but in particular, ownership, James, but also people like Jay Gaspar and Denise Romero, who just, they've grown up in this organization. And it's special to see them excited about what we're doing. They have a team that they're proud of, they can cheer for, and they actually work in the organization. And so there's just so many things I could say right now, but I'm just grateful to be in this position. I'm grateful for the guys that I get to coach and work with, but I'm also grateful that God blessed me to be able to come here and be the coach of the Phoenix Suns, because we had no idea. When I came down the escalator to my press conference, I didn't know what to expect. I just knew I had a lot of work to do. But in that process, I've been with some really good people, and I'm glad to celebrate that or this with them.
Part of that history is that Chris Paul became the first player in NBA history that had be part of 4 teams to set franchise.
Is that right? I mean, there you go. We couldn't even celebrate him passing, I think, Gary Payton the other day, and here's another one. It speaks to his greatness, it speaks to his longevity, but his love for the game and the work that he's put in, and the support system that he has. I was walking off the floor and there was CJ. Every step of the way I've seen CJ. When I was in New Orleans, there was CJ, and then Jada, and now Medium Chris. I don't like calling him Little Chris. I call him Medium Chris and Cam. I know his family, they're proud of him, and I'm sure everybody in Winston-Salem is proud of their son for all that he's achieved. And I'm grateful that I've had this partnership with him the last 2 years and even in New Orleans.
What clicked in that third quarter?
The defense for sure. We just, we're able to keep guys in front of us. We talked about shifting more to make them play on the other side. They were playing on the left side of the floor most of the first half. We were trying to get them to go to the other side. We weren't, giving up easy shots, but we just felt like we weren't making them work enough. We were just trying to get them to throw it to the other side and contest and keep the ball in front. That's all we talked about, especially on their step-up pick and roll. I think they got 2 lobs tonight on step-up pick and rolls, which is not bad against Russ when he's that dynamic going downhill, and then AD and Dwight at the rim. But I thought we did a decent job in the third quarter just turning it up.
What you talked about, wanting to find joy again, obviously it's easier to do that on a night like
Yeah.
this, but even before the results finally,
Yeah.
it felt like guys were playing
Yeah.
a lot more.
I felt it in the first half when we made a bit of a run in the second quarter. The first quarter defense, it was plus 30 for them. 31 points in the first half. I thought the second quarter we started to pick it up, and then in the third, that's typically where the joy comes from when we get stops and convert, and we can force a team to call a timeout, especially on our home floor, it's a special place. And I think when we go into the timeout, our guys are looking at the play that I may draw up, but they're thinking about getting a stop. And we understand how defense can be something that generates a lot of energy for the fans and for our team.
Monty, when you mentioned those interactions you're having with people around the game, what's the feeling for an accomplishment like this, winning the West last year, in terms of doing this kind of thing for them in these situations?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'd be irresponsible for me to speak on it, and like I did it. I think it's a combination of us and them. You know what I'm saying? I think our fans have to, and I believe they do, but I think I want them to understand how important they are. I've heard people that come here to play and they're like, man, this place wasn't that loud even back in the day. And I think the energy around the city is at a high level right now. We don't want that to dissipate at all. I'm just grateful to be a part of it. You know what I mean? There's so many people that are in this process with us. And if I had to convey a message to our fans, it's like, we're all grateful for the support. And even when I first got here and we were coming off of a 19-win season, there was great support, and it's just built up with the success that we've had, and we hope to have much more.
Devin took off his jersey after the game and gave it to Alan Boyd and signed it, but just how have you seen him handle this label he has as the face of the franchise, and how his reputation as one of the franchise greats now continues to ascend?
I mean, I think he's done it naturally. I think Book is the kind of guy that doesn't force it or try to be something that he's not. I think he's growing in leadership. He's growing and learning what it's like to be not just the face of a franchise, but the face of a winning franchise. I think that's what he's always wanted. And I think Chris has been a huge part of that. That partnership and learning from Chris. I'm sure going to the All-Star game and the Olympic team, being around those guys that have done it, I'm sure that's had a huge impact on him. And, I feel the same way about Book as I do Chris. I'm grateful that I get to partner with Book. When I came here, that was one of the main conversations I had was with Book at this place called the Sanctuary. And he looked me in the eyes and said, Coach, whatever you need, I'll do it. And that was before he was looked at the way that he is now. And that was the foundation for me, his commitment to the program and just partnering with us to, build this thing.
Coach, you talk about 3 games left, franchise record, but how are you going to approach those games before the playoffs, trying to keep the positive energy that you found tonight?
Sure.
What's at the same time maybe resting or?
The resting thing is something that I'm not quite sure if there's a huge benefit because of the position we're in the play-in tournament, you get almost a week off. And so at some point, there's going to be some deconditioning for the top seeds. So I don't think there's a necessary benefit to resting guys right now. I think if you rest guys too early, there could be a detriment. And so that's something that we've, talked about as a staff and with our medical people and the players. Like, players want to keep their rhythm. And so I'm not quite sure there's a right balance, but I know that you can decondition guys, especially with the time between our last game and when we possibly could play again.
High jumpers, when they set a record, world record, they usually stop. Now 63, are you going to go for 4?
We try to win every game. That's our nature. We have a bunch of sore losers in our locker room, and I'm sure that our guys want to establish themselves as the standard by increasing the win total. But we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We got a game tomorrow. That's our focus right now. We got to get on the plane and get out of here. So the fewer questions you guys ask me, the better.
Monty, can I ask?
Didn't work.
I don't mean to listen in on what you're talking about when you're walking in. It sounded like maybe someone was trying to give you, I don't know if it was the game ball or something afterwards, anything like that happened?
No, I didn't get a game ball. I don't. That stuff is internal. I'll keep it that way. It'll come out later, but I don't want to talk about it just yet. It was pretty cool what happened. You know what? I got to look. We gave the game ball to Jay Gaspar. Jay's been here for 34 years, and it bothered me that he wasn't able to go to the All-Star game because I was just under the belief that everybody was going, but I forgot about, budgets and rooms and how crowded it would be. And so he came to the airport and the morning we left just to bring per diem. And I thought he was getting on the plane and he wasn't going. And I knew it bothered him, but he's such a team guy. He's been here for 34 years. He's seen it all. And so the team decided to give it to Jay. And it was a really cool moment. And all the guys were all over him and he got to bring it in and say the final words tonight. So I just thought that's who we are. Everything counts and every person in this organization counts.
That was all the cheering as we came in here.
May have been. There was a lot of stuff going on.
Well, you're not part of a lot of several coaches in this franchise history, Todd Simmons and Paul Westfall, Mike Antoni, Al Gentry. I was built to be part of that class of these coaches that made impact in the first 3 years.
I mean, you name those names. That's a heck of a group. But the guy that comes to mind is Coach McLeod. He was my coach in college, and right before I got the job, he passed. And so I often think about Coach. He had a huge impact on my life, and if I could send a message out to anyone, it would be to Coach's family, how much I appreciated what he did for me. And I didn't think it was a coincidence that I ended up here, So that's who came to mind. I mean, there's so many connections. I live right next to the house where Mike D'Antoni used to live. And so it's like weird. I live right next to his old house, that kind of thing. So it's just a really cool community, but an awesome list of coaches. And for me to be in that group of coaches says a lot about the people that I get to work with and coach. Thank you.
I keep telling you, that's how life go. You know what I'm saying? What goes around comes around. That's how it is. And it was Phoenix's term to come around. I mean, all I could do was the last 5 seconds in the game. All I could do was just tell everybody how much I appreciate them. I went down the line from the staff to everybody who was sitting on the bench out there with us until I got to the back where everybody else was at. I just was telling everybody, thank you. Especially putting up with me. We did this. And there's a lot more to go. But, in this team, we celebrate everything. And, that was a joyful moment to, really embrace everything. This is what the NBA feel like. Me and Mikhail looking at each other 4 years ago, bro. We was at the bottom pit of the barrel. You know what I'm saying? We almost thought we wasn't a part of the league. For a minute, I thought we was paying people to play us. My rookie year, the way how we was losing. But, we here, man, and, seeing all the fans and the community just so happy and, just so supportive, all that helps.
What clicked in that third quarter?
Halftime, C was like, man, we just gonna have to blow these last games out, man. We working on ourselves. We're not playing against the team. How bad do we want it? And, it's that 30% JaVale and CP always talk about, there's more. We think we got 100%, but it's another 30% that we could get to, to be what we want to be. And, that's what got us all locked in. And he said, well, let's do it. And, we came out the gate, doing what we do.
Coach talked about you guys wanting to find your joy again. Winning makes it a lot.
Yeah.
Even before the game was over, it felt like you guys had found that.
Yeah, there's that grit in that talk, not hard nose talk, talking to each other, communicating. It was there. It was life behind what we always saying to each other. We knew the last couple of games we played, we weren't ourselves, and good teams. We sat down and got together and spoke on things, and you know, this is what brothers do. We talk it out, and we went back on that battlefield playing for each other. And this was a perfect example. From the starters to the bench to the second unit, third unit, it was perfect. Most definitely. Just to, especially for the fans to see it, and family members that couldn't make it to games if we had won it on the road, but here it's definitely made it more meaningful for sure, doing it at home.
Yeah, to go back to the timeline that Dwayne pointed out, have you felt much closer to the city compared to when you got here? How strong it's gotten between the teams?
Most def. I wish there was a transformation Tuesday on how the whole city evolved. One thing I was telling my family when I first got here, we're gonna bring lights to the city one day, because I wasn't used to losing, and here we are. There's all type of lights everywhere I turn. Everybody got a flash. So it's just that type of passion and that grit and all the things we went through, and to be here today and say we got 63 wins is just truly a blessing. You just got to embrace stuff like that and be very grateful, because this is an amazing team, and I love that team, and that's what the game do. I can't say much, Dwayne. That's what the game do. What you want me to say?
Can we ask you what that means?
That's what the game do. Yeah, whatever you get from out the game, whatever you put into it, the way how you approach it, that's what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? You can't half-ass, the game, because they're gonna do you bad, and that's what they do. You do it good, you approach the game the right way, you can get good. And that's what the game do. That's why we had 63.
It's good life advice.
Hey, yo, man.
The way you guys played tonight, how do you prepare for stuff?
We talk about it all the time. You got to celebrate everything. All this stuff doesn't happen overnight. Book, who've been here through some tough seasons, some 19-win seasons and stuff like that. So I think I'm probably happiest most for him. And Jay, I don't know if they told you about that in the locker room. Jay been here for 34 years, man, and one of the most selfless people you ever meet in your life. So for him to really see it all and him to be here with us is pretty dope.
Just want to announce it again. You're now the first player in NBA history part of 4 teams that set franchise records for wins. Clippers, Hornets / Pelicans, Rockets, and now here.
Yeah. It's all going well. It'd be nice to put a championship with all that. You know what I mean? That's the goal. That's what we're working towards. I don't take that lightly though, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work that goes into year in and year out playing and competing. And at the end of the day, you want to have a chance. You at least want to have a chance. And I'm grateful to be here with this group.
Giving Jay that game ball, how did that idea come about?
I was coach. We do game balls after games and stuff like that all the time, but that was coach. And that's the difference in, Monty, and I don't know how everybody else operate, but everybody on our team, everybody just always thoughtful, and it's always about the next guy, and that's what makes our team special.
It's right after the buzzer, chased down the ball and looked like he gave it to you. Was there anything he said in that moment to you?
Nothing. We just knew we was gonna get it to the locker room. You know what I mean? It's just funny because we done did that in other games, but I guess this one is everybody pay attention to it a little more. But when Book made, I don't know how many thousand points he got, we got the game ball. Usually when a guy on our team gets his first bucket, when Ish scored his first NBA bucket, we got him the game ball. So that's just the things that we do.
Jay was in there right before you got here, obviously. He was saying that one of the things that you taught him was that you think you're playing at 100%, but he said there's actually, you taught him there's 30% more there still to get. What does that entail? Like when a guy needs that extra 30%, like what do they do? Like what makes that person?
I think one of the worst things you can do in sports is when you show people really what you got. You know what I mean? And I think everybody on our team that did that at some point this year or last year. And so once you do that, we expect it, you know, and we challenge each other. And when we don't see it, we push each other. That's why we on a team. You know, it's much better to say it to guys on the court than to go home and whisper about it, right? So we just try to push each other, get everything we can get out of each other. And as long as we leave it out there on the court every night, you live with the results.
Well, you talked about you guys wanting to find your joy again after the last few games, and it's easier when you win, obviously, but it felt like you guys were there even before the game was over. Just what were you feeling as far as, you know, kind of the team being in the flow and then finding that joy?
Yeah, over the course of a season, you're a team, so many games, things happen, you know what I mean? So I think being back here at home in front of our crowd, we just got back to the way we playing, you know what I mean? And so we can live with losses all the time, but as long as we play the right way and play with the right joy, like I said, we live with the results.
What does it tell you about this team that you were out, Porter was out, Ayton was out, didn't matter? You guys cycled people in and you just kept winning.
That's how it's always been around here. That's a credit to the coaching staff, the coach, the guys that were here, the culture, right? Like we have a system, so it's plug and play. No matter who's in the game, there's a standard that we play to, and we try to do that on a nightly basis. We have a saying where we just say, shoot, which one? We got a bunch of sayings, but it's literally about like staying the course, right? The wear down mentality. That's what we say, the wear down mentality, where we just gonna keep it the same way all game long until hopefully you break.
Chris, 1 minute left in the game. Saw you walking over to coach and pointing at the end of the bench. Obviously, as a Dane, we were happy. Why did you do that?
What? Ife?
Point out on Ife to.
Cause man, coach is funny because he kind of like me sometimes. Like he just want to make sure we got the game won. But when I seen the other guys going in, Ife just came to our team a few weeks ago. You know what I mean? And couldn't be more solid of a human being. You know what I mean? The way he plays, the way he just fit right in with our team. And so get out there and play. Get out there and play. And that's why I just wanted to just tell coach, like, don't forget he over here. You know, so.
That game kind of seemed like a throwback to the Lob City days, Clippers, and a lot of loud dump plays and such. So Davis having, limping around the court. Were you trying to attack that weakness?
We was just trying to play with pace. Early in the game, we were losing, and I felt like we were playing at their pace, just playing half court, set after set. That's not how we play. We play up tempo, getting stops, run and transition. What? I was about to say I'm the only person I start in lineup over 30, but I think Jay 30 or 31. So our advantage is our pace. So we got to run and play fast. And when we did that, it was tough for them to stop us. All right. Appreciate it.